Chapter 1, Land of Rebirth Episode 1, The Round Table. That day, the Scarlet Jade Castle covered up by everlasting darkness boiled in excitement for the first time in 100 years. Her Highness has come back. We your lowly subjects pay respect to our Supreme Lord, who is equal with G.O.D. Her Highness has come back. We offer our flesh and soul to the greatest, most beautiful princess of all time. Her Highness has come back. We the demons of the Imperial Crimson Kingdom will once again fight for its glorious days. I have various kinds of regret. Why did I have such hobby back then? Well, originally from the start, the unique skill as a vampire princess Evil Eye was able to eliminate the will to attack from the target, and could be used whether they were player or mobs. Success rates differ with the level difference from the target. However, it was discovered that it influenced the mob capture chance, so I got carried away and tried to completely capture every mob possible within the game. Next, I took a side glance at Mikato's face, who standing back next to the throne. She was the first one I finally hit in a gacha, an SR Seraph pet. I was so lucky that I jumped in triumph. Since then I always played gacha since I might get a pet as a prize. By mistake in the Gulcha guild chat, because I spilled the fact that my bill had piled up until the limit, and also that my personal inventory that overflowing with pets, the Gulman guild member, became elated since they already maxed their level and didn't know what to do in their spare time. So, before I knew it, they had entirely assembled the 36 pieces of the Sky Garden blueprint fragments that drop once a while from the mobs of the ancient civilization ruins named the SCR.A.P Garden in order to return it to its original state. From there, the required material, it said that you were required to gather 20 different kinds of extremely rare materials that were only acquired from a % chance of treasure chests and minerals, which was so extreme that a group with about 10 max level people were totally wiped out in the middle of it by a boss mob in the area called Dimension Labyrinth. In fact, it needs 50 pieces per type. That, I could say, was am.a.s.o.c.h.i.s.tic act. So as for myself, I also predict I.p. aided in the material gathering in the surrounding area. I brought machine craftsmen and alchemists that were scattered around the world to the Senin place, where I made them take the mission quest, and finally asked them to process the material. Once in a while the material processing failed, so I still had to carry out the material gathering. Yeah, I was enjoying it during the process, so I am not denying that I was worked up with it. Then finally, all of a sudden the Sky Garden was completed in under 4 months. I am not boasting about it, however in the guild that I was in, Calico Cat Trail, all of its members have already reincarnated 3 times. It also had 5 people who hold the court rank specialty.I.tle, so I can say within the server there was not a single high-level player who didn't know of us. But even so, it's 4 months. Well, for all the good times spent, the Gulman were fine with it. At the time when the magic formation changed into a floating island, to be honest I was filled deeply with emotion. As Gulman next to me keep chanting Bals, Bals, continuously, I noticed I received the owners.h.I+p of the Sky Garden by the admin, so I was given that dam.nimbara.s.singlyt.I.tle of Tenjutenga, elegant miss of the sky. I got ranked up to the court rank, and my name was being spilled all over at the global chat. Although it made me think, what kind of public rape is this? Moreover, after that, the Gulman were so excited that the island had been transformed into a dark fortress city sort of thing, like an artist doing whatever he pleases on a demon mod. As for me, I was granted personal use of the storeroom on the island, and thanks to that the total limit of my storage had become close to 2,000 units. That was definitely the best thing to come from this out everything. On top of that, there were 100 spots to display captured pets all around the castle and island, so I crazily collected rare pets more and more because I wanted them to be displayed. That somehow made my friends call the place Demon Lord Castle or Monster Island, but I let the matter pass. Yes, if there was a time machine so I could fix this, I would be able to complain about this matter of mine. Now that I understand what kind of situation I have gotten into, I absolutely won't collect these high-level monsters and boss CLA.S monsters at all. As I sit down on the throne of Supreme Ruler, a showy thing that was decorated with gold and gems, which was a furniture billing item, cold sweat drips down from my head. While I view rows of monster forces that stand side by side before my eyes, I'm screaming inside. And then, there a small repeated upper arm sound at my side sending me a signal. When I take a look, Tenge gives me a faint wink. Ah, I have to make some kind of speech here. What should I do? I wonder what kind of good important sounding speech I should give. I don't know any type of speech like that. Oh well, from the beginning I had wanted to finish this fast and go to bed to sleep. No, I have to do it properly. Everyone, this is such a big ceremony. I didn't make a mistake in my speech, right? Milady. All monsters bow their head all at once. Among them, there were some who put so much strength in their heads that they hit the floor, making a crack on it. This building was supposed to be an item that is impossible to break. I wonder if it is reparable now. I try to keep thinking those trivial things, however, Tenge looks over all those monsters and then opens his mouth in satisfaction. Her Highness, the Princess, has granted you the honor to bow to her. Everyone, raise your faces. At that moment, without a single mistake, all the monsters rose their faces up. Overwawawava. Scary. Well, I do see that there's some familiarity from their faces. After all, those monsters were the pets that I had captured. There also a nostalgic feeling from their faces, but well, the front of the grizzly bear that faced me now with the bear doll back then is different. On the game screen, they were cutely following Chocococo behind Hyuki. But now, if I meet any of them when walking along the streets at night, I will faint from the fright. To make the matter worse for testing, I try to look on the status of Demon Eye High Priest, who had relatively low stats back then among them. Race, Demon Eye High Priest. Name, Koken. Owner, Hyuki. HP 6255,000 MP 7780,000. Even though it appears that way, he was a small fish type. The rest are mostly nothing but bossy.s.s monsters. It seems the ones that are part of this round table all have no pet limiter on them. Even if I wasn't present right now, it shouldn't be a problem, right? That is what I am thinking, but maybe I just don't know. They were staring me with a deep emotion, feeling, oh, it's Hime-sama, she really has returned, her beauty is unchanging. How s.h.I plus ning I'm able to meet her again. There were even those among them who had burst into tears. Then, to the left side of the throne, stood the Dark Knight, Kokuyo. Shen, he dropped the rod-shaped spear that he held onto the floor. Next to him stood the nine-tail fox, Utsuho, holding a folding fan in her hand. While pointing her fan to everyone there, she made a rebuke. All of you in here should be demon commanders of this glorious round table, and yet you are all undisciplined like children. You stand before Hime-sama. Can you not dignify your appearances just a bit? That dialogue raises the tension in the room again. No, I am fine with that warm and fuzzy from before. That was relieving a bit of my tension, you see. Well then, gentlemen, our supreme ruler of this glorious round table has returned. With this, our long time of uncertainty has ended. The glory and honor of our kingdom, the Imperial Crimson, will once again be known throughout the entire world, even to the ignorant plebs. Ooh. Everyone cheered from that extreme speech from Tenge. The shock made me fall down from the throne, so I placed my arm on the armrest. Due to the recoil, I have stepped down to the floor. At that moment, everyone concentrated their gazes on me with a fully amazing expectation. This means, if I am not able to perform something here, it's going to cause an outrage, right? I can't just stay still like this. I guess I can't quit. Oh, well, whatever, I will just imitate Tenge's speech. Stand, all of you. Be with me, raise your voice of triumph to victory. In that moment, the kneeling monsters raise up all at once. Just now they yelled at twice their normal volume. Gasp, I suddenly came back to myself. Somehow for several seconds, I fainted while standing with my eyes open. Of course, when my consciousness returned, I was unable to stand up and dropped my hips at once back onto the throne. End.